Hey, welcome to KocoSports Weekly Impact Wrestling Review. I am the huge one, Dave Coco from KocoSports.com or KocoSports.net. It takes you to the same place. It's where the world comes to cash, a home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. As always, joined by my tag team partner in TNA. Can we call you Mr. TNA? American Alucard. You can find him on almost any social media platform by putting the THEE American Alucard. So, the American Alucard, welcome to another TNA Impact review. Sorry it's so late. I want to apologize every week. It seems like this has to be part of our intro. The reason why Impact Wrestling is so late, because when it airs live in Japan, I work that Saturday morning. So if you want to get your Impact Wrestling reviews earlier, American Alucard does them on his channel. American Alucard, welcome to the show, pal.
I'm crying right now because I just witnessed Jimmy Jacobs' last match in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that, but I heard good things and I got the spoilers. I plan on seeing it. Maybe me and you could do a review on it. Maybe Tuesday after Mania.
Right.
I think it's too close to Mania for me to watch it and review it now. But
you're talking about the pay-per-view. I was talking about his television. The television.
Oh yeah, the television match. Oh, okay, my bad. I didn't watch either. -10 for me. I'm behind on my Ring of Honor.
They're behind on their Ring of Honor. They're still showing stuff from like a month away. But either way, good.
All right. So as always, let's focus on T-Day. We ask win, loss, or tie. I am all over the place on this. Like, I really am. Like, there's some parts of this show that I was like, I can fucking rip them a new asshole. It was horrible. And then there were some parts of the show I was like, oh, good job. Good job. So when I have mixed feelings like that, I think that's why we created the tie. I think they did some great things. I think they did some horrible things. One thing that I'm concerned with is it's WrestleMania week, and Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor, they put on their best shows this week. And I don't think, if you had to rate the last 3 weeks of Impact Wrestling, 1, 2, 3, I think this is the weakest of the 3. That's just me. I think they should have came out guns blazing, like, you know, timing-wise, because it's all pre-recorded. Was it 2 weeks ago we said it was the best Impact they've had on the new network?
You want Rockstar Spud and EC3?
Yeah. That was a really good one. I thought maybe that's the one they should have went with. But then again, I'm devil advocating myself here. Like, thanks. WWE fans do know about Jeff Hardy, so maybe people are tuned in for that. I'm going with a tie because I that was awesome. That was horrible all over the place. Now, American Alucard, what did you think? Win, loss, or tie? Are you with me? Are you going with me on the tie boat? Or you think, no, they did enough for a win? Or are they like, what the fuck positive did you see in this shit? What do you go? Win, loss, or tie overall?
I'm going to give it a win only because it was a good mix of storylines, promos that led somewhere, and in-ring wrestling. It was their, I don't want to say WWE show, but it's what the WWE fanboys complain about. They say TNA has too much wrestling, and with this show, they kind of balanced it out to where it was sports entertainment along with pro wrestling.
Yeah, and that is a good point. You know, you put a positive spin on it, but also, like, I do think this was way too much like WWE. And as a guy that was looking for an alternative, that hurts me. But who knows? Maybe a couple of those WrestleMania super fans that are really excited about WrestleMania tuned in and it attracted them to it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's what the WWE tries to do every Monday. They had long promos. We can't say they didn't have long promos here, but they were promos that led somewhere or they're leading into storylines in the future. They just aren't throwaways.
Gotcha. All right, so down in the comments below, please put win, loss, or tie what you thought of this week's Impact. It starts off basically with Jeff Hardy coming out, and they just cut an opening promo of James Storm saying, hey, I'm going to get you, and he's like, hey, this is Jeff Hardy's revenge. And new rule, if you have to start a chant and you said it like a fourth or fifth time, like, Hardy's revenge, Hardy, like, if they're not catching on by the fourth time, you just need to drop it and be like, all right, guys, you're fucking me here. I just think, and this is what hurts me. I think faces shouldn't be pushed that much. Jeff Hardy is no. Jeff Hardy is exactly what is wrong with a face push, while the opposite, we'll get to him, Kurt Angle, is what's right with a face push. I just thought it was too much WWE, too strong. He just beats the fuck out of everyone. He starts off, he beats the shit out of Abyss. Abyss fucking makes a goddamn jobber look good tonight. And I just thought it's WWE and TNA with Jeff Hardy, and sometimes with other characters. But tonight, let's just focus on Jeff Hardy. If the good guy has no real obstacles and is not relatable, he's kind of the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking he beat the shit out of 20 fucking men to get here. Oh, he had no problems. And I bring this up because there's a big story on KocoSports and going around the net that an MMA fighter, just hold on a second, boop, 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 boop. I just want to make sure we have the story up. Yeah, an MMA fighter, Phil Baroni, the New York Badass. Yeah, we got it up. He's signing with WWE, according to him. Sources himself.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Phil Baroni is going to get over like $1 million fucking dollars. Do you know why Phil Baroni is going to get to $1 million? He's just fucking humble and likable. Like, I remember, Rob, he's updating a lot of the news now. He's our April O'Neil on the site. And he's like, well, what's the big deal about Phil Baroni? I'm like, dude, watch Phil Baroni's a rock star. Just fucking watch it. I don't even give a fuck. Dude, there's no special... Dude, there's nothing. It is literally shot with a webcam and maybe a phone. There's wind. There's no special effects. Cheap-ass camera. And by the end of that, you're like, dude, I can fucking relate to this guy. I like this guy. Because he's fucking human. Alright? That's the problem. WWE and Jeff Hardy. When you have no problems in the world, how can I relate to you? Oh, well, there's 5 dudes that want to kick the shit out of you. I'll just beat the shit out of all of them. I just can't relate to that. How are you the good guy? It's just, it's fucking ridiculous. And I just think fucking, like, American Pro Wrestling needs to stop that. They just fucking need to stop that. It's like, you can't hand someone everything and then be like, why don't you love me? That's like fucking going around and be like, oh, who's your favorite person on the planet? Like, oh, I like the Waltons' children. Why? Oh, because they have a lot of money and sit poolside and their dad's parents just... No one likes them. No one fucking... They don't even like each other. That's what the... Stop. Stop giving the good guys everything. Stop it. It's just, you're out of fucking control. Dude, the bad guys get together. Here's the thing. People are like, why do you root for the bad guys? Look at the goddamn storytelling. All right, let's eliminate names. Here comes good guy. Oh, I'm going to fight you and your 20 friends. I'm going to beat the fuck out of all of yous. I'm going to beat you over and over and over and over again. And I get the #1 contenderships. I get the t-shirts. Dude, don't put a name to that guy. You fucking hate that guy. No one fucking likes the guy that's handed everything and it's too easy in life. You like the Stone Colds. You like the Dusty Rhodes. That's who you have to have some type of goddamn human interaction. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired of fucking good guys that are like, like Rick Rude. Rick Rude, one of the fucking greatest heels of all time. Can we agree on that, American a la carte?
Yeah.
Rick Rude is one of the greatest fucking heels of all time. In today's standards, he's the face of the company and #1 good guy. In today's standards, like, oh, Rick Rude, he fucking beats the shit out of everyone and fucking fucks our girlfriends and steals our wives and does whatever the fuck he wants. Look at that goddamn mustache. By today's standards, one of the greatest heels of all fucking time would be the face of the company. I don't fucking get it. Like, bad guys are the ones that get handed everything, not good guys. Good guys have to earn it. Good guys have, Bruce Willis doesn't show up to goddamn a hotel and he goes, here's your fluffy pillow and your wife still loves you and your family's back together. Hope you enjoy the holidays. No one wants to see Cena hard. Everyone wants to see Die Hard. This motherfucker's having a bad day. We got to get past that shit. No one wants to see Hardy hard. We want to see motherfucking Die Hard. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. What did you think of the opening promo? I mean, did you look up to Jeff Hardy and fucking his Superman-like abilities?
No, I get what you're saying. They could have wrote it or shot it a little bit better. And here's what I'm going to propose. Hardy and Storm have the same exact promos, right? Corey is in the ring. They have the promos, and that's the end of it. And then instead of having Manic and Abyss come out, they just have those segments where Manic tries to jump Hardy, gets beat up. Then Abyss, he gets beat up. And these are separate segments, just like the Corey thing. And then when it gets to the main event, then you realize, okay, that's why the Revolution doesn't come out to help James Storm. Yeah, it's exactly what you said about the Babyface getting a lot of stuff. They probably should have spaced it out. I understand Hardy being a little bit aggressive. I mean, hell, he in storyline-wise, he got knocked off a cage due to a cowbell, so I expected him to be a little bit aggressive against James Storm, but they didn't really have to, treat Manic and Abyss like that. Like I said, they could have separated those storylines into like end segments at the end before a commercial. Okay, he beat up Manic, and so and so. I think that would have worked out a little bit better for everybody.
Yeah, so I just think, and I'm not just picking on TNA, all American pro wrestling companies, could we have it where we just don't hand the good guys everything? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I definitely understand that, yeah, and especially with Jeff Hardy. He shouldn't be beating up Manic and Abyss at the same time. I'd see your point on that one.
Yeah, so next we have something where I think different people have different views. You have Low-Key versus Rockstar Spud. I enjoy Rockstar Spud. I am a Rockstar Spud guy. I'm with Spud. I just think him beating Low-Key, it's just, I see it as, Beatdown Clan, they're the good guys. They're the ones getting fucked with. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know how to tell stories, the bad guys. You're like, here comes Spud. He fucking after he got, like, oh, God. Just someone know how to write a story for a good guy. Someone. And not only that, but TNA, I don't know if it's their camera work. I don't know what it is. But this European tour, their timing on camera work and angles and editing have been horrible. It felt like Low-Key was looking for fucking Drew Galloway for 20 minutes. I'm like, the motherfucker's not Waldo, you're in a match. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, where did he go? Is he, I mean, come on. But Drew Galloway does come down, and Rockstar Spud rolls him up for a 1-2-3. I guess the BDC is tricked by their own game, which I think they're abusing that storyline too much. You're like, there's a good guy. Let's just stare at him for 20 minutes. If at least with a hot chick and you stare at her for 20 minutes, you're like, oh, okay, I got it. Unless the storyline is Low-Key, I have an announcement. It was horribly done. Because why would Low-Key just sit there for like 20 minutes? And not that, but it makes the X Division title not look that good. And I am Team Spud, but once again, it's just America not knowing how to book good guys. Spud is a good guy. He's being outworked by Low-Key by 1,000,000%. And Spud gets the fucking roll up and rolls out of the ring, and it's just like, come on. Come on. I know what it is. I gotta stop it right now, because I'm on a complaint train. I am on the complaint train, and I'm fucking driving this train right off the goddamn cliff. We need to make the good guys more believable and have more challenges. Because the fucking Beatdown Clan and James Storm's group, what is it, the Revolution? Dude, fucking Glass Joe from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is like, yo, guys, you can fight back a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just getting ridiculous. I do love Spud. I think Spud's one of the greatest. I think Spud and EC3 together was absolutely amazing. But now, with him as the X Division champ and the style of booking and the camera work, it's just too much. It is too much. And here's the thing. How do you not root for the heels? Like, let's say you know nothing. You're not an internet fan. You're not a smart fan. You just turned it on. How do you not root for the Beatdown Clan? They're the ones always losing. They're the ones that have to get through fucking challenge after challenge after challenge. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Besides saying they're bad guys, they ain't really doing anything evil. You know? They fucking lose all the time. What? I don't know. I just... You gotta work on it. But Spud, congratulations. I hope that this makes the X Division more active, because even when Low-Ki had the belt, and I love Low-Ki, even when Low-Ki had the belt, he didn't even bring the belt to ringside most of the time. You know, when Low-Ki was the champion, you always had to go, like, who's the X Division champ? And you're like, hold on, and you type, and you're like, Impact Wrestling. Oh, it's Low-Ki. So hopefully when Spud has the title, he'll bring it down, and he can help rebuild that division. But I love Spud the character. I think, you know, I'm sad that him and EC3 broke up just because I thought that was pure comedy. But, you know, I don't know if he's strong enough to hold a title that I used to hold so highly. But who knows? Maybe he rebuilds it. Maybe he brings in other people, so it would be interesting. But once again, the good guys lose with Spud winning. Like, I just think good guys and bad guys are confused. You know, what was your overall thoughts on this? Because internet-wise, Spud is getting a lot of heat of not being worthy. What are your thoughts on this match and the internet heat that Spud has?
Well, I like how Spud, when he first came out, he did seem like it was an obstacle because he looked on his face. He's like, "Oh, I'm really proud to be X Division champion." And he looked at Low-Ki like, "Oh shit, I got to face fucking Low-Ki." And you know, if you're looking at this from just an in-ring perspective, there's no way that Low-Ki should lose to Spud. And the way they booked it, Spud gets his ass kicked for the majority of this match, and it takes a distraction from Drew Galloway. And Low-Ki, he's looking for Drew Galloway because he knows Drew Galloway comes from the crowd. And if somebody cuts the back of your ear with a steel pipe, I think you would be looking for them, especially if they come from the crowd like that. And the way they have Spud win, remember his whole character is, I'm the underdog. I'm supposed to get these miraculous victories. He gets a quick pull-out victory. That didn't sound correct. That sound dirty. A quick roll-up victory on Low-Ki, because if there was a scrap fight, Low-Ki, of course, Low-Ki would, you know, just beat the tar out of Spud and take his SBN title and go to the back and like, yeah, that's Spud. He's up. But it kind of helps Spud in a way because it builds into his character. And the heat Spud's getting from this whole thing, it's too early to say Spud's a bad X Division champion. We all know he can wrestle. You got to give it some kind of time, and he hasn't even gotten to a proper feud with the X Division belt. It can't, you know, you got to give stuff time. It's not like Spud just completely buried Low-Ki. I understand him losing, but it's not like Low-Ki just got completely dominated by Spud. Low-Ki was the one who looked strong in that match.
Yeah, and here's the thing. One thing that I have to give TNA props for is it's so short, and obviously it was recorded later, you know, but they added in the Samoa Joe situation. Like, I just thought the fact that that's how they ended it was so simple, yet it accomplished so much. Where like they're just like, oh, fucking Samoa Joe left. What can we fucking do about it? You know what I mean? We lost Samoa Joe. I just thought that was pretty good. Plus, you know, TNA, they took the high road. I don't think a lot of companies would have took the high road. And I, as a huge Samoa Joe fan, as a guy who supported TNA, I don't say TNA fan because, you know, there's TNA fans out there that won't say anything bad about TNA, and I'm not that. But as a guy who supported TNA from day one, I'm glad they took the high road on this one. I really am.
It opens the door for if Joe wants to come back and then say, okay, Joe came back and he can have a storyline with MVP or any of the Beatdown Clan members, like he got kicked out or something like that. It's just good business to do that.
And, you know, Drew Galloway says he wants to fight, you know, the BDC. BDC says, guys, go to the back and I'll fight him one-on-one. Once again, a face move. Yeah, he doesn't need his friends. Fucking, can someone book a heel versus face faction? Fucking. Everything's gonna be okay. Just breathe, Dave. Just breathe. So the BDC, obviously the faces here, they challenge it, and then the heels, Mr. Stand Up himself, Drew Galloway, after they just, oh my fucking god. But basically, Drew Galloway has two friends that rush in, and it's a three on three. But there's no actual match. It's just a standoff. But the good thing about it is later, they show MVP in a backstage segment where MVP is like, "Well, I'll make the phone call and get someone else. Please, for the love of God, let that someone else not be Eric Young." That's the first thing I thought of. If it's anyone but Eric Young, that would be awesome.
It's not. It's not.
Good. Good, because that was my biggest fear. Like, not Eric Young. So,
yeah, you wouldn't call Eric Young because they're in the same building, so that would just be really stupid.
It has not stopped pro wrestling finding those little details out. Yeah. I don't mean to throw TNA under the bus, but one of my favorite / I fucking make fun of TNA all the time is when the cameraman sees Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan, and like 2 weeks later, Hulk Hogan still hasn't figured it out.
He doesn't have time to watch the product, I guess.
Yeah, it just looks so bad. All right, next you had Awesome Kong. I really enjoyed. Go ahead, you were about to add something.
Real quick, how do you feel about the guys in the Rising? That are joining Drew Galloway, Sean Ritter, or as he known at now, Eli Drake, formerly Paul Bearer's protege before he died, and the other guy, Tifa. I can't pronounce his whole name, but he was known as Camacho, and he's Haku's son. How do you feel about those two guys?
Anyone that's related to Haku is fucking amazing. It's kind of like if you're connected to Haku in any way, you're just fucking amazing. That's it. It's kind of like when you know nothing about a boxer, and they're like, well, I'm from Philadelphia. You just put your money on the Philadelphia fighter. Like, if you see two fighters, you're in Vegas, and you see two fighters, and you know nothing about the two fighters, and one's from Philadelphia, always put your money on the fighter from Philadelphia. I think, like, in pro wrestling, if you're like, I know nothing about you, and you're connected to Haku, put your money on that wrestler. Haku is just a badass motherfucker. As far as the other guy, I don't know much about him, but it was a little bit of a refreshing to see two guys run in and help and not know who they were. There was excitement about it. It was like, who are these guys? Whoa, they're not former TNA or WWE guys? I don't know. The fact...
Well, Camacho, he was Camacho.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
but he didn't really get a fair shot. Let's be honest.
But, I don't know. I was just excited because I didn't know who they were. I know that sounds kind of weird, but nowadays when people run in, you're like, usually you know every freaking stat about them. You're like, all right.
Sold it. John Magic said, who are these guys? I don't know who they are. He sold that.
It adds some excitement to it, and hopefully it does good, and we'll see where it goes. Maybe they'll be the fucking heel faction that people really need. But
he has pretty good mic skills. So
yeah, so I'll see where it goes. As of right now, I just I'm giving the famous bullshit answer, but it's an honest bullshit answer. I'm gonna give it time. Because I was excited that I didn't fucking really know who they were right off the bat, and on top of that, I was like, oh, okay, well, they're giving new guys a chance. Let's see where it goes. But the one thing I do want to talk about is just Awesome Kong promos. I like those promos. I like the promo of, I want to beat up beautiful people. I want to scar people. I buy into that shit bad. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because I'm an ugly fucker, but I buy into that storyline. I just think it's a great storyline. It's especially a great female storyline. I just think... Yeah, go ahead.
The best part in the editing was like when she was talking about Terrence Terrell taking the title. They had the picture of Terrence Terrell and like she was grabbing something, but then it turned to like a zombie face of Terrence Terrell. That was some pretty cool editing.
Yeah. And we do. I do. I don't know about you. I do throw TNA under the bus on the UK tour as far as video editing and TV packages and cuts go. But that was a pretty good video, and the special effects, because it's one of those, if you fuck up the special effects, Kong looks really stupid in that video package.
Yeah.
But no, they did a great job with the video package. I enjoyed it. I thought they, I love the fact what they did, what they did with that video package to compared to what they had. I thought they did an amazing job. I really enjoyed it. So that leaves to Awesome Kong versus Brooke. Has Brooke always been that hot? Sometimes like I see hot
Yeah.
chicks, but then they're just like stunning. This is the best I think she's looked in a while. I was just like, oh my god, she is so beautiful. Awesome Kong beats the fucking living piss out of her, which I'm a big fan of. And then she sets up a table, getting ready for a table. But the champion, Tara Terrell, comes out, and basically she just gets the shit kicked out of her, and she gets thrown through the table, which I really enjoy. You know, I think when it's coming to tell a story, if you're just looking at storylines only, the women's division right now in TNA is blowing the men out of the water. Context is everything. Um, but I just think the women's storylines are way more interesting. And I think it's mostly because of Awesome Kong, but you have so many great women there. So I enjoyed this. This is one of the segments that I enjoyed. I really did. I know Rob wants to get into TNA, and Rob's like, I'm going to wait till the all-women show. Yeah, I enjoyed this segment. I thought maybe this section of the show was the best part for me, entertainment-wise.
And then it like in the match, I like how Awesome Kong. She could have made this just a 1 minute swash match on Brooke, but she allowed Brooke to get some kind of offense in to make her look, at least kind of credible against her. And then the whole thing about the table, we all know where that's leading up to. Fuck you, WWE. Women's tables match for the Knockouts title. I'm there. I'm there. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it should be really interesting, and the way they're booking Kong is just amazing right now. And they have some really great women wrestlers. And not only that, but I'm a big fan. There's people in internet infantry that are really bigger women's fans than me, and their knowledge surpasses mine by a lot. So I'm not a women's wrestler expert, but I heard through the grapevine that they signed Mia Yim, and I think Mia Yim is...
Her name's Jade now.
I just think she's amazing. Oh, they changed her name?
Yeah, let me say, is that like, how they do racist gimmick? Is that kind of racist? Because like, she's half Japanese and half African American. Is it okay to change her name to Jade? I mean, it seems like, okay, you look Japanese and we're gonna call you Jade.
I think that's one of those. It just depends on the performer and people of that race. It's one of those. It's up to the each individual performer. So I mean, hopefully she's okay with it and they're not forcing it on her. I mean, if she's not okay with it, then I think that's when you draw the line of it being racism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like if she's not okay, but if she's okay with it and people of that race are okay with it, then all right. I'm not gonna step in and say anything.
I just find it kind of weird because they signed Marty Bell. Marty Bell didn't change her name. Cherry Bomb didn't change her name. I don't know if they signed any other women, but the only person who changed their name was Mia Yim. I just find that.
Oh, that's sad. I think that's a bad move. Not just because it might be borderline racist. Hell, we'll let Mia Yim decide that one. But not that the racist situation, but more of I think she has good name recognition. You know what I mean? I don't think there's no reason to change her name, but it might be a copyright thing. Maybe they plan on pushing her. I don't know. So we'll see.
Are we looking at Gail Kim's replacement? Because I think Gail Kim was talking about retiring in a couple of years.
All right, now that's racist.
Okay.
That's where I draw the line. Like,
okay.
All right, hey, the name thing might not be racist, but if you're like, hey, we're losing one Asian girl, let's replace her with another Asian girl, that's where you draw the line. Like, what, is there a quota? Yeah, that's definitely the racist drawing the line. Like, the name thing, I'm like, all right, that's up to her, that's up to her people, but the whole, yeah, well, we have an Asian girl, she plans on retiring, let's sign another Asian girl. No, that's where I gotta step in and be like, no. Dear TNA, dear WWE, it's okay to have more than one Asian on the roster. Thank you.
Connor, Connor, please appear on American television soon. That's all we can say. I say that every week, but
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Well, hopefully it happens. If we win $1 million according to Coco Sports Stream, we'll be able to afford it. But I don't know. I don't know if that will ever happen. All right. Next, I have mixed feelings about this. Once again, I think it did great for sorting out contenders. I think it did great for, like, I understand why it was. You know what I mean? The next Kurt Angle celebration. I understand it. I just think it was a bit long, and it was a bit like, oh, fuck. I don't know. Like, it's one of those, on paper, this is a great idea, because it establishes feuds, establishes so much. But in action, you're just like, yeah, are they really fucking doing this? And not only that, but I gotta put a props to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's promo in the back was probably that. It's just how to like, I was, and you can go back to Impact Wrestling reviews. I was pissed that Kurt Angle was winning the title. I was like, oh, it's bullshit, dude. No, he shouldn't fucking be winning the title. You know, these are things that I said. And, you know, Kurt Angle, Bobby Lashley, besides that one armbar situation, I thought was a really decent match for that style of pro wrestling. And I was like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to deal with it. But Kurt Angle this week's backstage promos, I went from what the fuck, Kurt Angle's really the champion, to yeah, fuck yeah, Kurt Angle, I'm fucking behind you, because he was humble, he was a good guy, he was confident, he wasn't handed everything. It was just like, I don't understand the same people that booked Jeff fucking Hardy to be Superman also booked Kurt Angle to be fucking humble yet confident. This is probably one of my favorite promos of all time, Kurt Angle backstage. For the simple fact is, like, as a fan watching, I went, oh, fuck Kurt Angle, he shouldn't be fucking champion, to, fuck yeah, Kurt Angle should be champion. What the fuck are you talking about, Dave, from 2 minutes ago? It's just, tip my hat to you, because Kurt Angle is the only fucking guy in the goddamn planet. I'm sorry, that's not fair. He's the only guy in America that's like, you know what? I'm going to be champion, and I'm going to win over fans as a face. Congratulations, Kurt Angle, because you're the only fucking asshole in America that understands this. He's the only one. I went into this backstage promo like, I guess Kurt Angle's champ. Guess we have to live with it. To fucking, like, 3 minutes later to be like, fuck yeah, Kurt Angle should be champ. Good fucking call. I'm behind you 100%. Kurt Angle, your calling might be in fucking politics, but at the end of the day, Kurt Angle fucking gets it, while a lot of face champions don't. So, Kurt Angle, give yourself a Barry Horowitz. As far as this match goes, everyone's, you know, basically the celebration was cut off by everyone. I don't know. Storyline-wise, it was great. Entertainment-wise, I'm like, eh. All right, so there you go. But basically, it sets it up. And not only that, but then they attacked each other, and that led to a six-man tag. Everyone looked strong. Everyone looked smart. Everything ranking-wise, except one guy. One guy.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes. How late to the party was he? Was he fucking getting a blowjob? Like, oh, fuck, I got to go to the ring?
He didn't fit in here. He did not fit because, like, he didn't say anything about world title. I think he's just going out there because he has history with EC3 or whatever. That's the only reason he came out there to fight EC3.
Yeah, and it was, like, late. And the only thing I hate about this fucking storyline is, why didn't everyone come out? But still, let's live in kayfabe world. Let's not try to fucking ruin this with logic. But kayfabe world, even Mr. Anderson was just so fucking late. Like, his music hit, and people were like, really? What the fuck, you know? I don't know. He fucking delivered the pizza like 20... I don't know. It's just, you delivered the pizza too late there, Mr. Anderson. No one fucking wants pizza, all right? It leads to a six-man tag. Very WWE house show-ish. You had EC3, Tyrus, and Eric Young versus Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, Mr. Anderson. Your winners was Eric Young, EC3, and Tyrus. I'm a huge EC3 fan, so I really enjoyed this. And I thought that, Austin Aries should have told a better story of I tapped up quickly to keep the briefcase. It seems like they're pushing him too hard. Once again, not knowing how to push a face or just tell a story. But overall, it just felt very WWE-ish, and I wonder if they did it on purpose to try to win over WWE fans. But there you go. Eric Young, EC3, Tyrus wins, and EC3, you still have my heart with the trouble, 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 trouble. And my whole thing is when they first started off with the Kurt Angle celebration, and it was just Kurt Angle and EC3, I was like, it's about fucking time! It's going down! And then other people's music hit, and I was like, oh, I see. I see how we're playing this game. You know what I mean?
Story path.
Yeah, I feel like I got the Christmas present I always wanted. Like, wow, I got the brand new Wii U iPad Super Deluxe Lamborghini, and then you fucking open the box and it's just a fucking rock. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's what I felt when I saw EC3 come out with trouble, 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 trouble. I was like, EC3, Kurt Angle for the title, it's going down. Take all my money. And then as soon as fucking the other people started showing up, I was like, all right. I see. So my dream present is just the fucking rock in a box. What was your thoughts on the six-man tag and the Kurt Angle situation?
Well, obviously the promo segment and everything like that was better than the match, but I like how it's showing Kurt Angle he has multiple opponents for his world title, and also, by the way, have you seen EC3's new troll shirt?
No, what did it say? I don't know if I noticed it.
This man is a master troll. EC3, he just releases on his ProWrestlingTees.com, whatever. Days before WrestleMania, Steen versus Triple H. This man, I'm just going to show it to you. I just want you to respond to it. Like,
all right, no problem. I probably should have noticed it. I feel so foolish. I was too busy looking in the crowd for fucking Waldo Drew Galloway.
Well, I'll find it on. But
all right, let me read. While you look for that, let me read one comment here. T-Man says Kurt Angle is criminally underrated, one of the best of all time. Oh, I agree. Kurt Angle's in my fave 3. Go look at our fave 5. We did a fave 5 show of wrestlers of all time. I think Kurt Angle's one of the best wrestlers of all time. I just, prior to that promo, didn't think it should be there. All right, let's see. Oh, we got a picture here. Let's see. Ba-da-da. All right, hold on. Give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
And it's got Sting. Oh man, did he wear this online, or is this just a special one you can get there? I mean, did he wear this on the show?
He didn't wear it on the show, but he needs to. This shirt is fucking awesome. I'm going to have to get this shirt. I'll put it in the comment section for the people watching it.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get a big picture of it. Hold on. Oh, Pro Wrestling Tees, we get it. Copyright. Pro Wrestling Tees, I love you, brother, but come on. Now, we want to show off your shirt, and you're being all fucking like, are you sure you want to? I'm not sure about the copyright. All right, there you go. Thank you, Pro Wrestling Tees. All right, here, let me see. Boop, 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 boop. Dun, 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 dun. There you go, everyone. All right, so there you go. That is fucking pretty badass, dude.
Yeah. But getting back to the whole promo, for like you said, I like how EC3 came out established. He's on this major role, momentum role. Byru comes out. I deserve a one-on-one match because I haven't gotten a fair one. Kind of true. Then you go into EY, which he can either just be that stepping block for Rude to never get the title back. So whatever, because he says I won't stop doing it until one of us isn't here anymore. So you'll never win the title. And EY at his current state right now, being as crazy as he is and doing a great job as a heel, you could see him injuring somebody, like Kurt Angle, with Kurt Angle having so many injuries and everything like that. So EY did something at Scream where he hurt Kurt Angle badly. Him win the title wouldn't be that bad. Then you get into, what's the other, Austin Aries. Austin Aries, in rare form as always, comes out giving Kurt Angle champagne. He gives us a recovering alcoholic champagne.
I didn't even notice that part. Yeah.
Aries plays dirty. He wants that world title, and he's telling he didn't just tell Kurt Angle that. He told everybody, hey, you win this title, don't forget I have this world title case, so you gotta be on your P's and Q's, because if you aren't, you might catch a brain buster at the end of the whole thing. And then the whole thing ends. Angle's like, okay, I'll fight all you guys. I don't care who you are. Just line up. Lashley comes out. Fuck these other guys. I want my title rematch. I don't even care about these guys. That's why I didn't come out. Brawl, Mr. Anderson, while you there. But whatever, he comes out. The match, that's the best way to describe it. Man, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
But I think the best part about this was seeing Rude and Aries together. I mean, people don't like to see world heavyweight winners be tag teams, but they have some great chemistry as a tag team. It's like if they would have started their career together as a tag team, they would probably be one of the greatest tag teams of all time. But they're more special or more known as singles wrestlers. Eric Young got the victory with a sort of cheating figure four on Aries' leg. Aries, he's getting this whole thing where anytime I get in a submission, I'm out this bitch. I don't care if it's a chin lock. I'm tapping out. I'm not risking injury. So yeah, I guess the right guy got the victory because AY, he's been taking some decent losses, so it gets his momentum train back on track. And that's the best thing I can say about the match.
Yeah, and the thing is, it did a great job making a rank structure and the title feel important. So that's the good that came out of that. Next you have is this feud almost over? You have Bram repeating the word coward over and over. He's like, coward, coward. They're doing the what? And then Mickie James comes out, and so does Magnus. I think maybe this segment was written by T-Shawn, our good friend T-Shawn. But he tried to make Mickie James kiss his boot, tried to give her a kiss, and it's just leading to a feud. Now, I probably would have enjoyed this, and it's one of those too much things. If you just cut out the Bram segment from last week, I just thought that segment was so bad. Like, if they would just cut that segment out and skipped right to this segment, I probably would still be on board. This segment was a lot better, but last week, the segment was so horrible that I'm just like, finish this fucking feud. You know what I mean? But the segment was a little bit better. I enjoyed it, but it's just... It's one of those things, fucking just fight and get it over with. You know what I mean? Just fight and get it over with. That's fucking all I'm saying about it. What were your thoughts on the promo and Tim getting the best of Magnus and trying to kiss his wife and have his wife kiss the boot?
It was decent. They're trying to build it up, the whole thing. I think the best part about this whole segment, Brown busting out the jumping heel kick. I don't think he's done that before, has he?
I hate Bram. So I'm going to say probably not, but I'm like the worst person ever. You're like asking me, like, does Bram fucking have a good drive? I'm like, I don't fucking know what Bram has. I don't even like to look at the motherfucker that long. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice, and hopefully I'd like to see what these guys do after this feud is over.
I know where Magnus is going, and I know where Bram is going.
Whoa! Doing reviews and playing fantasy wrestling and knowing about spoilers, that's dirty. That's just dirty.
You may like where Magnus goes, and you may not. It just depends. And I think
as long as it's not as bad as 2014 Magnus, which we refuse to talk about.
No. It's gonna involve Mickie James too, so it seems like it could be pretty good.
All right, so we'll see. Next, what we've been building up to, Jeff Hardy's been beating the fuck out of everyone. It's just like, holy shit. Like, people sometimes on YouTube or sometimes in movies do something way over the top just to fucking be sarcastic. That's what Jeff Hardy was doing. Jeff Hardy's like, I'm going to beat a fucking giant cyclops with 7 my hands tied behind my back, and I'm going to do it by whipping my balls at him. So fucking, Jeff Hardy's amazing. We fucking get it. and it leads to the Six Sides of Steel, which has weapons on the side of the thing. I'm not a big Jeff Hardy fan, but with that said, eh, average match, maybe against WWE guys. Interesting finish, very creative finish. He climbs to the top and starts swinging back and forth, and then throws a splash off him. I thought it was kind of a little bit of an interesting finish, but overall, I'm such a Jeff Hardy hater. I'm a hater of fucking just the good guys being handed everything. So I kind of have a dark, tainted view on this fucking match. So, but the only thing I can think of, I'm trying to defend TNA here. The only thing I can think of is that, like, well, WWE doesn't have hardcore, do we have Jeff Hardy, and a lot of WWE fans like Jeff Hardy. That's the only logical excuse I can make for Impact Wrestling doing this.
Well, also, he got beat up in the cage. They had him do another cage match.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And he gets his revenge and all that. But I just think at American Pro Wrestling, the good guys have it way too easy. It's like, hey, look, I fucking beat up 12 of his fucking friends, and now I'm beating him up. It's just like, what happened to, oh, we're going to make a comeback, and, oh, I didn't get revenge, and like, oh, I swear, I will get my revenge! You know, like, what happened to the story, the journey of getting your revenge? There is no story or journey to getting your revenge on American Pro Wrestling. It's just like, yep, got your fucking revenge. There you go. Moving along. like it just looked like if Jeff Hardy had a list of shit he had to do today, it would be like third down the list. He's like, clean bathtub? Check. Let's see. Answer the door? Check. Wash dishes? Check. Defeat arch rival James Storm and get revenge? If there's time. Okay, check. All right, hey, tell me what you thought of the main event while I go see why people are knocking on my door. I'll be right back.
Well, the main event, like you said, I do agree that they probably should have spread out the beating of the rest of the Revolution members. The whole Revolution storyline is making James Storm look great because he has good promo time and everything like that, and he wins his matches sometimes. But the rest of the Revolution is kind of looking pathetic, to say the least. The match, really good. You know, James Storm, Jeff Hardy, especially in a cage, you know you're going to get quality. And then the things Jeff Hardy was doing inside the cage, you know, using the cage to, you know, creatively doing the drop kick and then the Hurricanrana, and then him hitting what was it, the Swanton and the, what does he call it, the Twist of Fate. He's saying that's not enough to beat James Storm. He has to think of a new way to beat James Storm. He hits the rotating pendulum body splash. You know, that was kind of sick. But yeah, they need to do something about the rest of the Revolution. They need to start booking them. I don't want to say too strong, but to the point to where they're a threat. You know, they just aren't, oh yeah, without James Storm, these guys suck. You know, what are you guys doing on television?
Yeah. So overall, not too shabby of a show. I give it a tie. I could see TNA super fans defending it to their blue in the face, and I could see WWE fanboys hating on it. But overall, pretty much a tie. You still give it a win?
Yeah, because it's them trying to. It's them trying to cater to the WWE fanboys who say, I want sports entertainment. Okay, well, TNA just gave you sports entertainment and wrestling, so it was a compromise. I give them to win for that. You know, I would prefer just great pro wrestling, but it was decent for what it was.
Yeah. Clover Cold 89 says the other guy that helped Sean Ricker, who is a really good wrestler and great on the mic. All right, so we'll learn more about him as time goes on. Thank you, Clover Cold 89. And he also asked, do you think EC3 needs to put on good to very good matches consistently to be considered a main eventer? Ooh, this is a tough call because in ring-wise, I wouldn't put him in the top 5 of TNA. But entertainment-wise, I would. But I think I think if you hide his weaknesses, and TNA can show they can hide weaknesses. They did it with Bobby Lashley. If you can hide his weaknesses, and he's not as weak of an in-ring performer as Lashley was, but he also doesn't have Lashley's look, but he also has thing. I think he can be a main eventer. I think he's good enough in the ring to carry a main event spot, and I think his character is super strong. Is he the best wrestler in the company? No. No, not even close. But the total package, being a heel, and I think a lot of people, because he was on NXT, WWE gave up on him so quickly, and a lot of people think he can't go, he can't wrestle. I think he can wrestle a lot better than people give him credit for. I don't think he's in the top 5 of in-ring performers in TNA, but if TNA puts the effort into him of hiding his weaknesses as much as they hid Bobby Lashley's weaknesses, he could easily be a main eventer. The character is amazing, the promo is amazing, and in ring wise, I don't know. I have to look at the roster, but definitely top 10 maybe. He's not as bad as people make him out to be. I know I'm not really selling his in-ring work that great.
He really doesn't have to be that good of an in-ring performer because he's trying to sell this character of, he's Dixie Carter's nephew, the rich kid with a silver spoon in his mouth. So, if he went out there and just hit Hurricanrana drop kicks and 450 splashes, that kind of would ruin his character. Like, oh, you can wrestle good and you're trying. So you don't think you have a silver spoon in your mouth. You're trying to impress us.
Yeah, and my thing is, like, if I ran TNA, I would have made him champion on the switch over. From Spike to American. And the only reason I would have switched it over is because, you got to imagine, even though in today's world, people just go anywhere to watch wrestling and all that, but you got to imagine when you're on a brand new network, you're going to have new viewers. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when you go there and you just have this heel rich guy, I thought he would have been a great champion to come on the new network. You know what I mean? Yeah. But now, if I was running TNA, I would maybe make him go through the number 1 contenders and see how he holds his own in the ring against a Bobby Roode. See how he holds his own in the ring against an Austin Aries. And if it's good to great, like in that range, I would just give him a title run. Now, granted, we're looking behind the scenes here. Kurt Angle is being pushed really, really hard by the network, which scares me because when the network starts pushing for stuff, sometimes it's not always good, even though they're doing a great job with Kurt Angle so far, knock on wood. But it still scares me when I read stuff like that. But that's what I would do. I would have had him in champion already. Granted, he probably would have lost it by now, but I thought when they appeared on Destination America, he should have been champion. And I would definitely put him in the running. I mean, my daughter hates American Pro Wrestling. My wife only watches Japanese pro wrestling live. And both my wife and my daughter and my son and my whole family, and I went to TNA, what was it, Bound for Glory in Japan?
Yeah.
I went with like 10 of my friends, we ate beforehand, and we went to TNA. And all people were talking about is EC3. So, he's very over in Japan in my family and friends circle. I don't know how it is over there in America, but he basically stole the show. That's all people were talking about. Like, oh, he's so funny, ha 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 ha. The women are like, he's so good looking. And then trouble. Fucking people enjoyed it. So, from my experience, just being with Japanese pro wrestling fans, people love him. And maybe he's good. And not that, but he's like one of those guys that if half the audience loves you and half the audience hates you, but you're a heel, not a fucking face, a heel, I think that works a lot better. I do like the chance of he can wrestle, yes he can. I think that's amazing. And if I can, and not that, but he's so good at improv. So good at improv. I think if there's a thing that EC3 could fucking, like you could say he's the best in, definitely improv. Just because, the whole "you can't wrestle, I have to disagree. You can't wrestle, yes I can." It's just fucking, he's really fucking witty and smart. And even in Japan, where the language barrier is a difference, they wanted him to be a heel. And TNA made the mistake of not putting Hama out first. I think if Hama came out first, people would have hated EC3 more, but they made the mistake of sending EC3 out first. And you can't really hear the audio in that pay-per-view, because I watched it afterwards, and people were like, the crowd was dead. I'm like, no, you fucking sucked at audio. But yeah, there was a fucking thing where he goes, I guess I'm still over in Japan, but you can't hear what the fans are saying. I don't know why. Maybe you would want to fucking pick that up, but I guess they wanted to sell that Japan's quiet or something. But he was insulting Japan, and they gave the famous, "We still love you" chant, and it was fucking pretty funny and great. But I think if you hide his weaknesses, I think, yeah, he should be champion. I think, and if not, he should definitely be feuding for it. Him, Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle. He's definitely a main eventer in my eyes, especially if you're an entertainment company. And I think a lot of times maybe he's so entertaining, or maybe it's because NXT and WWE got rid of him. Maybe people don't see him as good of a wrestler as he really is. But he's a lot better than a lot of fans give him credit for. But like I said, he's not in the top 5 on the Impact roster. In-ring wise. What are your thoughts on EC3 being a main event champ?
It's all about how they book him, and even if he does turn face, he can bust out some of his new moves. Jay Lethal beat Julian Thunder Liger. So that's another one for Ring of Honor, but another loss for New Japan. I just want to say that one real quick.
All right, and we got another great.
Now I thought you would be more vocal about it, like, oh, what the fuck, Ring of Honor? But
all right, let's answer one more question here, and then maybe we'll wrap this up. All right. Rain Lazy 92 says, and this is a good question. This is a really good question. I'll let you answer it first. Why I think. Should the Revolution just split and just have Storm be in the main event scene? What's your call on that? That's a tough question.
I think the Revolution the guys around him should start being booked a little bit. James Storm should be getting his Bray Wyatt on. He's already looking like $1 million in this whole thing. Even though he lost against Jeff Hardy, he should just be sitting somewhere, and everybody else should be trying to prove why it should be in the Revolution, while James Storm goes for the heavyweight title. Because the rest of the Revolution, they just look like complete. I hate to call Manic a joke because he's an excellent wrestler, or Sonata, or Abyss. They just look like fucking retards. Like they look so weak. It's kind of disappointing. And James Storm is just like, I'm cutting great promo, I'm wrestling good matches, and here are my lackeys behind it. Yeah, these guys. Get a load of these guys. I saved them. They're whatever. So it's more about the booking of them. But they should definitely keep the Revolution. I like this whole James Storm. This is, in my opinion, his best character work in TNA. I hated the James Storm beard. It just felt like, you're trying to be Stone Cold too much, bro. It's not you. This Revolution James Storm, it feels like it's more natural to him. It feels like, he, after winning the world title and getting so many chances after losing it or whatever, he would develop this megalomaniacal, delusional ego to where he thinks he's one of the greatest or whatever. So it fits him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think James Storm. I don't know. I think the role is so perfect. I don't think splitting up is the answer. I think booking them better and stronger is the answer. And the reason I say that is because, let's get business nerdy here. Japan, they have a great television deal in Japan. So you need Sonata. They have a great television deal in India. So you need the wrestler from India. Manic and Abyss was lost character-wise. You know what I mean? So I honestly see it as James Storm I know it's going to be over the top and sound very promo-ish, but it's very kayfabe-ish. I think James Storm is sacrificing his main event run to help other people and help the company. I think, James Storm, he could be a main event and have a short main event career, run. But then what do you tell the people at G Plus? What do you tell the people in India? And these wrestlers, Manic was lost in a shuffle, Abyss was lost in a shuffle, and then you have two where language barriers have a problem. So if James Storm is basically using all his tag team overness and all his popularity and his character to help these very important key features. And I think, if James Storm split, it feels very kayfabe, but in the same way, it's kind of a shoot. If James Storm's like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to go be a main eventer, fuck you guys, those four guys are forgotten about in a blink of an eye. And two of those guys are very important for your international audiences. So I don't know. I think, and it sounds like a kayfabe answer, but kind of the storyline they're telling is kind of also a shoot storyline. I mean, Abyss is gone. What the fuck was Abyss going to do without fucking this group? What is Manic going to do? He might go back to the X Division, but he's just going to be an X Division guy. You know what I mean? And the two, Sonata and I always forget, what's the Indian wrestler's name? I apologize. Those two guys are basically going to just pack up and go home.
Yeah.
Their fucking careers in TNA are over. So I think, he's sacrificing a lot. And that's what makes the character so interesting. So I don't think him splitting off to go to be a main eventer, I think that's a greedy thing, and I understand if he would want to do it. But I even think that, what's he going to do? He's going to feud with Bobby Roode. He's going to feud with Kurt Angle. Bam, his main event run is over. You know what I mean? Where he's pretty much got a lockdown of this group. I just think they have to book the group stronger. Jeff Hardy can't come in and beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? You have to...
Something that would help them. If they go back to Japan, James Storm has to beat the Great Muta. I think it was kind of a bad idea last year for Muta to Sonata and Storm. Storm and Sonata should have won in that main event. So, they could have came back next year or whatever, and Muta could have got a victory. It just seemed like Muta and Tajiri beat them kind of easily on the first
yes and no. The match wasn't that good, but here's the problem. It was Muta's house. You know what I mean? Like, no one would know about the event if it wasn't for Muta. And I just think...
But it would have made it more special next year. On the next year, it was like, oh shit, who's James Storm? He just beat the Great Muta. We want to see the next year, can Muta, avenge this loss.
Yeah, I understand your point. I just don't think the attendance is low, people are angry, Wrestle won. I think there's just... It's kind of like, it's like, that's not going to work in Japan. You know what I mean? I'm just... No. But who knows? Maybe he'll get revenge, but I don't know. I just don't see it. Rain Lazy 92, should TNA bring back a mid-card belt? I was against this, but the more I think about it, like, what is EC3 and Mr. Anderson really feuding over? I think the mid-card belt, I hope they come back, but they care about it. A lot of mid-card belts people just don't give a shit about, but I think TNA could benefit from mid-card, and I've changed my stance on this. I always like on YouTube people don't change their stance on it, or they act like they've always said that. I've changed my stance on the mid-card belt. At first, I thought it was a really dumb idea, but if they take it seriously, and that's the asterisk, if they take their mid-card belt seriously, I think TNA should bring back a mid-card belt. But if they're not going to put effort, and it's just going to be the Legends title, TV title, and forget about it, then no. But also you have the X Division title that they have to put effort into, too. I think, when it comes to championship belts and having more, just look at New Japan. The titles mean something. You can have 800 titles if they all mean something, or you can have one, and if it means nothing, it doesn't matter. So I am pro them bringing back a mid-card belt but with a huge asterisk, they have to take it seriously. Like, if it's forgot about in 2 weeks, I'm going to be so upset. What are your thoughts? Should TNA bring back a mid-card belt?
Yeah, I think they should. A Destination America television title, as long as it doesn't say fucking Destination America, all God elite, God, uh, horribly tacky. It doesn't look tacky. Destination America on the belt, whatever. But yeah, Destination America television belt, a representative or a quote unquote representative from Destination America should come down and say, okay, we're doing this television title belt thing, and whoever wins it, he hands it to them. They have a tournament, Blase, Swaze, whatever. It should be something special. They need to make it special when if they do debut or have
Yeah.
something like
Well, first off, I'm a former marketing guy slash marketing guy. But yeah, I have no problem. Japan does this shit all the time. A lot of people don't realize this, but yeah, if you have a television network, their logo's on it. And Destination America, even though it seems kind of corporate and whorish, their their main logo wouldn't look bad on a title belt. So I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people ain't because they're like, how dare you make money? How dare you fucking advertise? How dare we live in a world of everyone has to give what they do away for free, and I'm for that. I'm a very hippie fucker, but if everything's for free, you have to have advertisements. You have to have T-shirts. You know what I mean? There has to be a way of doing it. I'm pro pirate life, but at the same time, the creators have to make money somehow. So like it's funny because like sometimes people are like, I just downloaded the new James Bond movie and they fucking had Coca-Cola everywhere in it. I'm like, well, they have to get paid somehow. But I wouldn't mind a Destination American title as long as they took it seriously. That's all. And I know some people would definitely shit on it. How could they? This is selling out. I don't fucking see it selling out. When you fucking are at the Winston Cup, you know what I mean? No one says it's selling out there. Sprint Cup or
when shows have when you have a television title, that means it's represented by the network. So the network coming down and say, hey, this is the belt that represents the network. It makes it look like a big deal.
Yeah, I think so. And Japan, and like I said, Japan does this often. You'll just turn on, one of the channels. They're like, oh, this is the J Sports Championship. This is the Gaora Championship belt. This is Fight Network Championship belt. And us, we don't even shrug. We're like, all right, TV Network has their own belt. Cool. So, but I know, like America, the land of capitalism, they'll fucking lose their shit. Like, they're just selling out. But here's the thing. Like, yeah, they're selling out, but if they do a good job at it, fuck it. Wouldn't it be great, if TNA made profit? That would be wonderful. So, I don't know. I believe in I'm very hippie-ish, so I believe giving away the product for free, but asking the audience to do something or have product placement in it. The creators have to make money somehow, and I think that's the way it is. If you're reading a book and the one guy is like, I love Reese's peanut butter cups. By the way, Reese's peanut butter cups do not sponsor this show. I just reference them because I love them. But if it's like, I love Reese's peanut butter cups, and I'm like, this main event brought to you by this delicious peanut butter cup. Dude, the show's for free. You have to make money. I would rather have in-product ad placement than commercials. That's just me, and hopefully in the future is that way. Hopefully everything is, my super fucking vision of the future, granted, it's probably not true, I would love everything to be for free, no commercials, just product placement. I think it would be just product placement everywhere. And some people it bothers them, like, Stephen King's The Dome. People are like, can you believe they all have the same laptop? Like, I'd never noticed that. Product placement doesn't work on me. What do you mean they have the same laptop? Hey, did you ever notice that in Sony movies all the shit is Sony? No, I never noticed that. The fact that you noticed that means maybe it's working on you. I don't know. What's your feeling on product placement?
As long as it's not done, in a crappy way, where it's just like, yeah, that's disgusting. I'm offended. I'm okay with it. And when it's not too much, as long as I don't see a guy coming out there with a Coca-Cola headband, fucking Blas whatever shirt and whatever, as long as it's done tastefully.
So there you go. Yeah, I know that, but like, what wrestling should learn from is sports. Look how sports does it. I think when it comes to product placement, no one has mastered it and been there from day one like sports. Sports is how you should do product placement. That's it. So, all right, this got weird conversation. like, comment, subscribe, and down in the comments, tell us what you thought. Win, loss, or tie. It is WrestleMania weekend. I might do some more shows before WrestleMania, but I'm not sure about that. So, like, comment, subscribe to find out. Follow us on Twitter at KocoSports. And as soon as WrestleMania goes off the air, we will be going on the air to review it. And I pray to Terry Funk, please, just let this be a good WrestleMania. Because WWE being a shitty product is also ruining my love for indie wrestling. You think, no, here you're like, how the fuck does that make sense? I'll tell you how that makes sense. When WrestleMania sucks, I go on Facebook and Twitter and see a bunch of fucking indie wrestlers making less than $500 a goddamn week defend that shitty product, and I just don't want to support indie wrestling anymore. WWE is so bad, they got to the point where I don't even want to support indie wrestling. Fucking indie wrestlers. Yep, kissing ass, that's the way to get in. Not wrestling in front of people and honing your craft. It's definitely kissing ass and making fun of... let it go. Let it go. Let it go. American a la carte. Tell her how the Internet Infantry can find you and how they could get your views on Impact Wrestling a day or two before mine.
The American a la carte, THEE, American a la carte on YouTube, and then on other social media sites, Twitter and Facebook, just the American a la carte. Type it into the search bars or search bar, whatever, and you'll see something with me, and I'll get back to you. Or you can watch a video. Either way, it's all good.
So definitely check him out. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll definitely be back after WrestleMania. Will there be shows in between? I hope so, but sometimes real life gets in the way. American a la carte, thank you as always. Make sure to check out his channel. And, yeah, check out KocoSports.net. KocoSports.net. I like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and they don't even pay me. We got to get on that. American a la carte, is there any way? Just send boxes and boxes of peanut butter cups, and we can...
You ever check Amazon? Like, see how... Because I think I sent you about... It may do free shipping to see if they would do free shipping to Japan.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet. Oh, man. I love peanut butter cups. Anyway, when we start talking peanut butter cups and product placement, I think it's time to wrap up. Like, comment, subscribe. With that, I am over. Boom, 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 boom.